They counted you out too early. You fell. You failed. You lost something you thought you couldn't live without. And somewhere between the pain and the pressure, you started to believe the lie. The one that says it's over for you. That this chapter is the final one. That your setback somehow defines your story. But let me tell you something, your setback is not your sentence. It's a comma, not a period. It's not the end. It's a setup. The most dangerous lie isn't the one the world tells you. It's the one you start to whisper to yourself when things fall apart. The lie that says because you lost, you're a loser. Because it failed, you're a failure. But that's not the truth. The truth is, every champion was once crushed. Every success story has a chapter that looked like absolute defeat. And the people who rise, they aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who didn't stop when it got hard. They're the ones who kept showing up when nothing made sense. See, we love to talk about winning. We love the highlight reel. But we don't talk enough about the in-between. The nights when you're questioning everything. The moments when your hands are shaking and you feel like you're drowning in silence. The days when no one claps for you, when no one sees you, when you wonder if what you're doing even matters. But those are the sacred moments. That's where strength is forged. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not when everything is working, but when nothing is. And you still choose to rise. You don't need applause to be valuable. You don't need results to be worthy. And you don't need everything to make sense to take another step. That broken place, that's where power gets in. That failure, that's not your identity. It's just evidence that you tried. You risked. You stepped out. And even if you fell forward. Let's be real. This path is not for the faint of heart. It'll break you. It'll strip you. It'll test everything you say you believe. But here's the key. Breaking doesn't mean you're done. Breaking doesn't mean you're weak. In fact, sometimes breaking is the only way to get free. To shatter the false stories you've told yourself. To release the weight of other people's expectations. To let go of who you were, so you can become who you're meant to be. This isn't about motivation. This is about identity. About remembering who you are when life tries to make you forget. Because deep down, even in the worst moments, something inside you refuses to quit. Something inside you knows, it's not over, it can't be over. Not like this. You were built for more. That storm didn't come to drown you. It came to cleanse you. To wash away everything that was never really yours. And I get it. You're tired. You've prayed. You've worked. You've done all the right things, and still it feels like doors keep slamming. Like people keep walking away. Like every time you take one step forward, life hits you with 3 steps back. But maybe, just maybe, this is not punishment. Maybe it's preparation. Maybe the process is doing more in you than you can see right now, because endurance isn't built in comfort. Character doesn't grow when everything goes right. The fire doesn't destroy the gold, it reveals it. And you? You're still here. Still breathing. Still fighting. That means there's more. More grace. More purpose. More to your story than what you've seen so far. The fact that you haven't quit yet is proof that something greater is calling you forward. People might look at your life and only see the fall, but they don't know what it cost you to stand back up. They don't know the nights you cried alone, the demons you wrestled, the strength it took to keep going when you had every reason to give up. They don't know how many times you told yourself in just one more day, and you made it. You're here. And as long as you're here, there's still a fight to be won. Sometimes the enemy isn't outside. It's the voice in your head that says, you're not enough. But that voice is a liar. You are not your worst day. You are not your failure. You are not your mistake. You are a walking miracle, forged in struggle, refined by rejection, and powered by a purpose that didn't die just because things didn't go as planned. If anything, your purpose got louder. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in you. You don't need 1,000 likes. You need one reason to keep going. You don't need a perfect path. You need a relentless spirit. One that says, even if I fall 10 times, I'll rise 11. One that says, even if they walk away, I won't walk out on myself. One that says, this may be a valley, but I'm still a mountain in disguise. You didn't come this far to quit now. You didn't survive the storm just to sit in the wreckage. There is life after loss. There is purpose after pain. And no matter how deep the pit, there is always a way out. Not because everything gets easier, but because you get stronger. You learn how to fight smarter. You learn how to silence the inner critic. You learn how to clap for yourself when no one else will. This is your comeback season. Not because it looks like it, but because you've decided it is. Because you've drawn a line in the sand and said, this is not where my story ends. And that decision? That's where power begins. Not in what you have, but in what you believe. In what you declare over yourself, when everything around you says otherwise. You are still in the fight. And that alone makes you dangerous, because the moment you realize it's not over, everything changes. We all face moments where it feels like life is working against us. The dreams we've held on to slip further from our grasp. The people we thought would support us walk away. The opportunities we were praying for don't show up. And the inner voice starts whispering that maybe it's time to quit. But in the very center of that struggle lies something sacred, an invitation to become stronger than you've ever been. Most people think pain is a signal to stop. They interpret struggle as punishment. But what if pain isn't the end of your story? What if it's the beginning of something bigger? Struggle doesn't come to break you. It comes to build you. Like fire refining gold, adversity doesn't remove your value. It reveals it. When seeds are planted, they're covered in darkness. They're buried under pressure. They're surrounded by dirt. But they're not dead. They're becoming. In the same way, your struggle is not a grave. It's the ground where your strength is growing. You're not finished. You're forming. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. Pressure has a way of unlocking potential you didn't know was in you. You discover levels of courage you never tapped into before. You unearth resilience you never thought you had. It doesn't feel good, but it's working for your good. Because the truth is, the strongest people didn't become that way by accident. They were forged in fire, molded in adversity, sharpened by setbacks. They learned how to endure when others gave up. They learned how to believe in the middle of doubt. They learned how to keep going even when they couldn't see the outcome. Too often we want the reward without the resistance. We want the strength without the struggle. But muscles aren't built through comfort, they're built through pressure, repetition, and challenge. And the same principle applies to your character, your discipline, your focus, your faith. Every difficult day is a chance to train. Every closed door is a lesson in persistence. Every disappointment is developing you for the next breakthrough. The thing is, most people give up before the change happens. They stop pushing just before the pressure produces the breakthrough. And they never realize that the pain they were running from was the very thing that would have elevated them. But those who endure, those who press through, those who learn how to keep standing when everything in them wants to lie down, those are the ones who rise. Life will test you, not to expose your weaknesses, but to reveal your strength. And strength isn't just how loud you shout or how much you can lift. Strength is being able to smile when your heart is heavy. It's showing up when you feel like hiding. It's staying focused when everything's falling apart. It's refusing to let your situation dictate your spirit. That strength doesn't come in easy seasons. It's born in the struggle. It's crafted in the quiet moments where no one sees your effort. It's forged in the nights you cry yourself to sleep but still get up in the morning. It's built when you say, I don't feel like it, but do it anyway. That kind of strength becomes who you are. It's not something you perform, it's something you embody. And here's the truth. There is no shortcut to greatness. There is no bypass around pain. You can't skip the process. You have to embrace it. Lean into the difficulty. Accept the challenge. Because the more pressure you're under, the greater the potential you carry. Diamonds are created in pressure. Steel is strengthened by fire. Legends are shaped by the storms they survive. It's easy to smile when everything's going right. It's easy to be motivated when the path is clear. But what about when it's not? What about when nothing's working and no one's cheering and everything feels like it's falling apart? That's when your true character speaks. That's when you decide, am I going to let this beat me or will I use it to build me? Every storm has a purpose. Every trial is training you for something greater, and you're not going through this for nothing. There's a version of you on the other side of this pain that's stronger, wiser, more grounded, and more powerful than anything you've seen before. But you've got to go through it to grow into it. You can't avoid the fire. You have to walk through it. Because the fire is what burns away what you don't need and brings out the gold that's been buried inside you all along. This is the season of becoming, of stretching, of being uncomfortable. And if you can hold on in the dark, if you can keep pushing when nothing makes sense, if you can trust that the process is producing something in you, you'll come out of this unshakable. There's something sacred about struggle. It refines your focus, it cuts away the unnecessary. It teaches you to value the small wins. It humbles you, And it reminds you that you're capable of more than you imagined. You don't grow by staying safe. You grow by doing the thing that scares you, by taking the risk, by failing and trying again, by showing up every day with grit in your spirit and fire in your eyes. So when you find yourself in that dark place, when it feels like nothing's working, and you're tempted to throw in the towel, remember, the struggle isn't the enemy. It's the training ground. It's not there to hold you down. It's preparing you to rise. You're not buried. You're being planted. Let the dirt surround you. Let the pressure weigh on you. Let the pain refine you. Because in due time, the seed breaks through. The roots go deep. And what once looked like defeat becomes the birthplace of destiny. Pain is often misunderstood. It's seen as a signal to stop, a reason to quit, or proof that something isn't working. But pain, when viewed through the lens of purpose, becomes a powerful teacher and an essential ingredient in the making of greatness. The reality is that pain is not punishment. It's preparation. Every struggle you face, every tear you cry, every moment you feel like giving up, none of it is wasted. It's all working together to develop a version of you that you haven't met yet, but the world needs desperately. When you're in the middle of the storm, it's hard to see the purpose behind it. It's hard to believe there's something being built in the background while you're breaking. But the truth is, every great story, every breakthrough, every legacy that ever mattered was forged through resistance. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Muscles are built by tearing and healing. Even gold must go through the fire to be purified. What makes you think your greatness will come without a cost? You have to stop interpreting discomfort as danger. It's not the enemy, it's the evidence that you're growing. Growth isn't glamorous, it's gritty, it's uncomfortable. It stretches you in ways you didn't ask for. But what it produces in you is stronger than anything you could have gained through ease. Comfort might feel good, but it never changes you. Challenge does. Struggle does. That pain in your chest, that ache in your soul, that weight on your shoulders, it's shaping you into someone who can carry what you've been praying for. The mistake most people make is trying to avoid pain instead of learning from it. They want the shortcut. They want the quick fix. But purpose doesn't live in shortcuts. It lives in the deep places, the hidden places, the painful places where character is carved out of chaos. Don't run from that. Don't despise your process. Don't curse the very thing that's building your endurance, your wisdom, and your strength. The process is not punishment. It's permission to become who you were born to be. There are going to be days when quitting looks like relief, when silence sounds better than perseverance, when isolation feels easier than staying connected. But the challenge in those moments is to push, not because it's easy, but because what's on the other side is worth every ounce of struggle it took to get there. You're not pushing just for yourself. You're pushing for the people who will be impacted by your obedience. You're pushing for the lives that will be touched by your breakthrough. You're pushing for the version of yourself that's waiting on the other side of the fire, stronger, wiser, bolder. Pain doesn't mean it's over. It means something is being born. It means transformation is happening. It means something inside of you is being refined. You're not being buried. You're being planted. And when the time is right, what's inside you is going to break through the surface with power. But you have to stay in the soil long enough. You have to survive the dark season. You have to trust that what's breaking you is also building you. Too many people quit 5 minutes before their breakthrough. They stop praying. They stop believing. They stop working because they misread the pressure. Pressure isn't your enemy. It's your signal that you're close. That breakthrough is around the corner. That freedom is near. That what you've been waiting on is within reach. But only if you keep moving. Only if you don't let the pain convince you to settle for less than what you were created for. You were never promised an easy road. But you were promised that your effort would not be in vain. Every ounce of sweat. Every sleepless night. Every rejection. Every no. Every time you got back up when you didn't feel like it. Every time you chose faith over fear. It's not for nothing. It's adding up. It's accumulating. There's a reward attached to your endurance that you cannot see right now. But it's there. And it's coming. You just can't abort the process. You have to understand that resilience is a skill, and pain is the classroom where it's taught. You don't develop tenacity by winning every time. You develop it by losing and choosing to show up again. You don't build mental toughness in victory. You build it in failure, in fatigue, in fear, and you push anyway. That kind of growth doesn't happen overnight. It's not glamorous. No one claps for it. No one sees it. But when the moment comes where it all matters, what you built, in secret will speak loudly in public. There is a you that only emerges under pressure. A level of discipline, a level of confidence, a level of vision. And that version of you is not born in comfort, it's forged in fire. And when you stop running from what's hard, when you lean into the pain with purpose, you begin to tap into a strength you didn't even know you had. That's when the breakthrough begins. That's when the tables start turning. That's when everything that was meant to break you becomes the very thing that built you. So when the pressure rises, don't fold. When the weight gets heavy, don't quit. Don't interpret the fire as destruction. It's refinement. It's the process of greatness in motion. If it hurts, it's working. If it's uncomfortable, you're being stretched. And if you're still here, still breathing, still fighting, then the pain is producing something powerful in you. Something that comfort could never give you. Something that quitting would rob from you. What's coming is greater than what you're going through. But you won't get there without embracing the process, without enduring the pain, without understanding that every struggle has a strategy, every valley has a vision, and every setback is setting you up for something greater. This is where your strength is being born. This is where your endurance is being tested. And this is where your greatness is being shaped.